So CSS is just like HTML, and it gets upgraded to different versions, and the latest version is CSS3. And you may have heard a lot about it because it adds a lot of exciting new features. Some of the things that are new about CSS, there's a lot of new selectors, and those are of course the things that select what's going to be styled on the page. There's also a bunch of new text effects, so CSS3 offers a bunch of white space and typography that we never had before, and if you're a font nerd, you are going to love CSS3 way more than you ever would have liked CSS2 or the original CSS. And there's always going to be improvements. CSS also adds the ability to style the first letter or the first line of an element. So that means that if you had the letter C in CSS, you could make it big or you can make it bold, just that one letter. You could do that with every single paragraph on the page with CSS3. It's a lot of fun to use CSS3. Another thing that's really exciting is multi-column layout. Multi-column gives you the ability to style your page with lots of columns, but the text is all running. It's like a newspaper, and it all runs, up and down, and you just read it like you would a newspaper, but the text in the HTML is just straight text, just like you would normally write. It's the CSS that's creating the columns. So here's some examples. One of the things people always talk about are rounded corners. Ooh, rounded corners. CSS gives you that ability. It used to have to be done with images. This is all text. There's nothing in this HTML other than text and CSS. You can have a text shadow like you see here and on this headline as well. CSS, again, is doing that all by itself. It's CSS3. One of my favorites is gradients. I love gradients. Yes, I know, kind of silly, but there you are. You can now do gradients on your backgrounds or wherever with just CSS3 styles. You don't need an image. It used to be you had to make an image, and some of those gradient images were really, really rocky and kind of rough. But now they're looking pretty good. And here you can also see this document has both text shadow and a box shadow. And that's one of the features that you can learn to do in CSS3. CSS3 adds a lot of new features that are fun and make your web pages even more interesting and exciting.